Hello, everybody. In today's episode, we are going to be doing something super exciting. I've been working on it for a little while, but we are going to be building an uptown. And it's kind of funny. It's actually going to be down from our downtown, but it's going to be an uptown district. And I'm pulling from a couple really big cities that I've seen just awesome uptowns in. The main one that I'm thinking of is Dallas. And it's not going to really resemble Dallas's uptown, but it's kind of the same vibe that I'm trying to capture here. Something just really nice, a lot of residential, well groomed. We're going to be doing a lot of detailing. And then I want to create something really cool with our freeway entrance. And I'm super excited about it. But first off, I wanted to jump into a couple little fixes. I did end up changing our small aircraft stands here. I'd gotten a couple suggestions or comments stating that we had omitted the medium stands, which is super important. And then Paradox did release an update for the taxiways, and so now we don't have that weird laggy issue. I'm super appreciative of that. It was actually last week sometime, but I had already recorded the episodes. And then I switched the police station around. I'd gotten a comment that said, putting it on this side would make it so that the police would have to turn around. And I thought it was just really smart, so I put it in over here. I was trying to increase our attractiveness as now that we have our airlines and I set it up to 100 because if you set it too high, then people will stop flying. We're making about 30,000 a week from it. And so we're almost hitting even, but we're not doing super well right now. We're plus 26,000 because it's still pretty much our farming industry is holding up most of our city at this point. Though our taxes are doing pretty good too. I think our taxes are pulling in a pretty decent amount of money. Yeah, I mean, residential, we're pulling in 115,000 in taxes, which is pretty good. It says it's 46% of our income. We are going to be working on some industrial in the future and kind of doing a bunch of stuff. I have been getting everybody's suggestions. I went ahead and started a little journal so that I can start writing them all down. It is kind of hard to keep track of them all, but we have some really good ideas like a harbor. I think we're going to end up doing a harbor with a barrier island over here. And then I want to do a smaller airport, probably with a military presence over here. And I thought it would just be really cool. City Planner Plays just did an awesome little military base. If any of you guys haven't seen it yet, it came out really good. And so I did want to go over some of the cool names that we got for a couple sections. We got a lot for airlines. We got a lot for the airport. We got a lot for this little headquarters section too. And so I think we're going to try to incorporate them all at some point, maybe with the smaller airport. And so for the big airport, what I settled on was Meteor Airport. I think it is just such a cool name and it's really fitting for the area. And so we'll go in here right now. It is Brook Airfield. It's kind of funny. It's off to the side. And so we are going to change this to Meteor Airport. And you know what? I think I'm going to do Jetport. I think that is just a really cool name. You don't see it too often, but up in Portland, Maine, their airport's called a Jetport, and I thought it was just really cool. It sounds official and kind of intense. I like it. And so that name came from VE5VV. Thank you so much, one of my loyal commenters. I super appreciate it. And then for the airlines, we had gotten a couple really good ones. Two of them that really stuck out to me were I think it's called Zephyr Airlines. I don't know if I'm butchering that, but it's fragments of rock from eruptions, which is just awesome. But then the one that I think we're going to win out today and choose is Comet Airlines, and it's to pay homage to the first commercial jetliner, which I think is just super cool. And so we are going to go over, I think we have to jump into our little tab. We're going to go to airlines, and we are going to do Comet Airlines. Man, I love when we can incorporate some sort of fun history into that. But some of the other really cool names, we got Zilla Air, which I think is just fantastic. Flying Rock, which would have been fun. And then we got a couple others. I'm still sifting through trying to write down all the previous comments that we already got. But then for this section, I think, did we end up making this its own district? Because we definitely should. We didn't. So I'm going to pause the game. We're going to de-district this and then create another district. All right, and so the name that had won out is Ignis Valley, and what that is a rock having solidified from lava or magma, and I just think that is so fun, man. I love all these little rock names. It is so fantastic. So OUS Valley. Actually, we'll do Complex. There you go. I think that is better. And then another cool name that I'd gotten for this section, but I think would actually work for our little downtown section right here, because we have Crater Rim Park, but then we didn't actually name this guy. Where is the name? Barlow Hills. I mean, it's not a bad name. So we are going to change this to Citadel Crater, and that's just what we will call this crater from now on, this little mini crater over here. I think it is just so great. And so we could even like maybe update the lore and say that this crater was some sort of, you know, bombardment of lava or rock explosion that had happened from this volcano, because normally I think when a volcano cracks like this on the side, it's from a huge eruption, similar to like Mount St. Helens, where it blew off the whole side. And then there actually is a real crater lake in Oregon as well. It's really pretty if you ever get the opportunity to go out there. It is just awesome, but it is from a volcano that is massive that erupted and then collapsed, and there's a really pristine lake in the middle. It doesn't have an outlet like this though. It's just a huge crater and you can kind of stand on the outside. It's really cool. And so now we are going to jump into this guy. So what I'm thinking is something a little crazy. We're going to be probably doing a lot. I do want to keep it on pause though, because we really need to pump up our money over here. And so the first thing I want to do is actually jump into our level terrain tool. And I want to come up here, and my idea is we're going to create a nice little ledge here. And this is just going to create a really nice area. People tend to pay really, top dollar for views. And so this is kind of what we're going for here. I do want to go in here though and delete these guys, because we really don't need any rocks or anything in the way. And it really helps with FPS as well if you just get rid of the trees, especially in this game. Especially if you're detailing too, because detailing really takes up a lot of space. So for this section, I actually want it to be a little bit further out. What I'm hoping is we can create a nice little space. For some reason, I didn't think about it. I was putting it right up against that road, but it's not the end of the world. And then we will come down here, choose that height, and then come down here. We can always do the bottom level last. We'll just clean it up. And you know what? I think that looks pretty good. Perfect. And so now we will jump into our roads. I got these new highway over wall roads by Simo G. So we're going to go like that, and then we are going to go right next to it, go like that. And then I think we are going to create our tunnel. And then I'm just going to jump into network multi-tool, the slope mode, hold shift, go to I'm probably just going to go like right there and then hit enter. I'm going to do the same for the other side, because I really don't want this to be any like crazy kind of variations in height. I'd rather it be smooth. And so we'll come into our key wall, go out like, you know what? That's actually a perfect distance. So we will go like that. And did it go level? Did it go down? Nope, that's actually really good. Perfect. And then for this side, what I want to do is capture that same distance. So we'll probably, you know what? I think that looks good right there. So we'll come across. All right, and so we have of reasonable distance on either side. And so we'll come down here and go like this now. And I really like the effect that this gives you. It gives you like a nice little variation in layers. And so what I'm thinking for this guy is we will come up here, go like that, then we'll go like this, and then we'll actually turn this down. And then sometimes it flips the key wall around, and so what we need to do is just come in here and go like this. We're just going to create a nice little area over here. I think we're going to end up putting an entrance into like some sort of mansion, grand neighborhood in here. All right, and so now what I'm thinking, we're going to get a little crazy with this. We are going to delete these guys, go like that, and then I think we are going to find a middle ground. I think it's about here in my testing. So let's go ahead and draw in a 6-lane road again, and then we will jump in here, bring these back, bring this over here, bring this back. And so let's jump back into our road, use the picker mod, make sure to go back to unmodded, and then come out here, and I want to go straight. I need it to be level though, but we can always come back. And then we're going to do the same with this guy. Yeah, there you go. And then I'm just going to go into the movement mod, choose all these nodes, and then Control H on that. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I think some of these nodes are a little closer on this one side than I was hoping. So I think what we'll do is we'll just move these a little further away, because I'd rather the columns be evenly spaced. And we are going to be putting our entrances and exits off of this. And so this is perfect. And so now what we need to do is come in here and then go down. And so I think we'll end up going like right here. Go to unmodded so we can get it a little bit better. And we're just going to draw it across so that we can snap the roads to it. And you know what? I think that is perfect. It is a little steep, but you see this in cities, especially with different terrains. I was just recently in San Diego and they have just a ton of hills. I mean, it's just crazy. They have this one where there's a stop sign literally at the top of the hill because it's so steep. I mean, it was intense. It's been a little while since I've been in a city that had that many hills. And so let's jump back in here, go like this. And what I'm thinking for this, guy, is I want to curve it in. I think it really creates a nice space for this. And then it allows us to do like some little park assets and stuff up top. We'll probably do some more residential since this would really be where the view is. And so these would be like your really expensive residentials, but all right, and so there we go. I ended up setting up some little paths and then cleaning it up a little bit just to make it a little flush. Because there's another fence on here, I just wanted to make it look a little better. It would protect people from getting onto the highway, but I just wanted to make it so that it didn't look weird. And then what we could do is go in here and lower the terrain in here as well, but I think we'll leave it like that. It does end up costing the city less if they use ground like that. And so now that we have that, what I want to do is go in and create our little freeway entrances now. And so we are going to jump back into highways, and I'm just going to probably make this a turnaround. Yeah. Because what we're going to do, the idea is we're going to funnel it this way, and we'll end up doing a little interchange right here. And it's going to be interesting because I've only done a few diagonal interchanges where they're like that, and the split double trumpet is what I was thinking, but I really want to do a stack interchange. And so what I'm thinking is we will end up splitting up our entrances here. So I'm going to go like this, draw it all the way out. And this is one of the tricks that I use for entrances. You don't want it to touch the ground. You want it to be kind of close, and you're using the freeform tool with no snapping. You want to level it up, get out to the distance that you want to be. So we're going to go like right there, and then we're just going to turn it in. And I normally turn off anarchy for that just so that it can be a little bit cleaner of a connection. And then we're just going to copy it on this side, go all the way down until we're one up from the ground, and then just turn it in. It does look like we're going to be a little off on that one, but it's not the end of the world. It does look like this guy's backwards, so we're going to switch that up real quick. All right, and so then for this side, we are literally just going to copy the same thing. Yeah, there you go. We have some nice clean connections. I am going to go into Network Multi-Tool though and just clean up these slopes a little bit. I want to make sure that they're about the same. And there we go. That looks really clean, and I really like how it does these walls. It's really what I was going for here. I think it just provides a really clean look for the area, and it works out really well. All right, and there we go. Nothing too crazy, just kind of cleaned it up, put in this little filler space in here, and I did solid because where I'm from, that's actually the most common way to have them is solid. We don't really have chevrons in Vegas. It's kind of interesting that they never really did that. I guess in some areas they are, but for most like freeway entrances like this, they would be solid like that. And so now what I want to do is, before we forget, set a priority on this guy. This is probably going to become a really busy area. And so I want to give yield signs to the traffic getting off, and then I want to Control-Shift-Click with the lane arrow function. And what that does is it just gives dedicated lanes so that you don't have people kind of blocking traffic. And so now that we have that, what I want to do is jump in here, and I'm just going to do something real simple up here, just a quick little turnaround. And so I want to go like right there. And you know what? Are we not flat? I want it. So we need to come in here first and flatten this out. Yep. So like right there, and then we'll come across. We'll go like right there. Yeah, that's perfect. I want it to be so that we can get 4 squares on that backside. That's really what I'm going for here. Yeah, that came out perfect. I do want to put this to a ground piece though. So we'll go like that. And then I think we'll leave that for right now. I think we're going to end up doing something with that. But then we are going to end up putting tram lines in the middle. I think it's going to end up working out really well. And so now that we have our entrances, we have a basic little layout back there. I want to do something fun back here. So I think we are going to use another little couplet, similar to our avenue, but just smaller, more decorative than anything. But I'm going to go about 4 squares out, and we'll go like that. And then I'm going to do 4 squares out from the intersection again and go like that. And then I'm going to turn this guy around to make sure it's going the right direction. And then I think we'll just have it loop back. So we'll go like that. And what I'm thinking is we will do a couple really big rows of high density residential, but I want to do it in a way where it's going to be really, really manicured and just looks really good. And so I want to do something crazy here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a 3 square setback for our residential here. So I'm going to go like that, and then I'm going to copy it on this side. So we want to create 3 squares. Yeah, there you go. So we have four total squares on either side, but then three squares on the back. And so we are going to copy that on this side. I think we'll end up putting in our school or something right there. But I do want to come in here and go like that again, because I would really prefer, like if a developer were spending this much money on this, they would definitely be grading out some stuff. And so now we'll go like this, and then we're going to do another one on this side. So we'll go like that. And then I think we can even, let's go ahead and push this back just a smidge. Yeah, there you go. And so now let's jump back into our little handy dandy road. Go like this, and then do the same thing on this side. So 3, and we'll go like that, and we'll probably call that done. And the goal is to probably expand this over here as well, and then probably even towards the ocean, because I think this would just be fantastic. I actually think, let's go ahead and do that right now while we're at it. And this is going to be, I mean, primo, because look at this view. I think we're going to end up doing something cool right here. We could actually do a little bay. Maybe we'll do like a marina, a little private marina. I think that would be cool, where people can park their boats and stuff. But then for this area, I want to do probably a little small commercial area. So we will maybe come up here. Then I want to connect that up. And we'll probably just follow this down. I don't want to go too far because we need to turn the freeway. So I think this looks pretty good. I kind of wasn't anticipating going out this far, but I think it is going to work for our purpose. And so now what I'm going to do is just do some water lines and then some power lines real quick. All right, so then now what I'm thinking is we will turn this into a park area. And with the zoning, what I'm thinking is we will do the 3 square setback. So we'll get perfect 4 square zoning, but will only be in these little intersections. And the reason why we're going to do this is I want to do some really cool decorations and stuff, and I'll show you guys in a second. It comes out really good. All right, and so that's what I'm thinking for the zoning. It's really not a whole lot, but it's enough. And then we are going to do some little pathways as well. So we'll go like that, and then we'll come down here and go like this, and then we'll probably do the same on this side. So we'll do 2 pathways, and we'll go like this. And then I think we'll end up doing the little school right there. We'll go like this. And you know what? That looks really good. We can actually unpause it now. And then we will do some commercial on this side. And before we hit play, I want to make sure we do some pathways. We'll go like that. We'll go like this. And we'll copy this right there as well, because I'm hoping we can get the pathways to cut across. It's really what I'm going for here. Yeah, there you go. I think that looks really good. And then we'll be able to put in some paths in there. And then I think we are going to do some office zoning on this side, because I think it's going to be just a really good location for it. And so I ended up putting the office in the back, as I feel like it's just a little cleaner. I like putting the commercial on these main arterials. And so now what I'm thinking is we will come in here and just do our paths. And so I'm going to put in a path network in between all these little rows. And then we're going to do something fun in here. I want to do probably the business park, and then we'll connect the paths up here as well. And there we go. So I set up the paths, and then now I think we are going to do a couple districts. So we're going to do 1 district for this whole guy. And then if you guys come up with any fun names for this, like Uptown or something related, I think that would just be awesome. And then I am going to go in and paint this as a park area as well, because I want to be able to use park assets in here kind of intermingled, mostly in that middle section. But I think by painting it around, it kind of gives us some more leeway to maybe do some gazebos or something. And I'm going to paint the top section in the park as well, because I want to be able to do some restaurants and stuff like on that edge. I think it's going to come out really well. And then I think we will probably extend this district up here. So basically the second you cross the little avenue couplet, you will enter in this new one. And so again, if you guys come up with any names for the district or the park, just let me know in the comments down below. And then we are still waiting for a lot of these to kind of grow up. All right, and so we do need to put in some services over here. We're kind of going through a little death wave right now. I went through and placed a couple more of the crematoriums kind of around the city. We are experiencing some abandonment, but it'll bounce back. This happens every so often where everybody just starts dying, especially when, like, even this, we zone out just a huge area, so everybody in this one area will all die at the same time. So just one of the downfalls to not using the life cycle rebalance mod, which I got to check it out again. I did use it for a long time, and then what I'm thinking, I want to come and do the office park. Yeah, there we go. And then I think we are going to do some curves. I don't want them to just all be straight, but I guess we could also do straight. Maybe we'll just attach ups. Maybe we'll go like that. We'll go like that, and then we can just go straight on. And so I think for this guy, what we're going to do is we will actually come down here, and instead of having it go like that, we'll go ahead and go like this. It's because it creates another little space for us to do something in here and kind of make an entranceway. I think it's going to look really good. And then we do need to do services, so we don't have any healthcare down here. We don't have any police or fire, which all of those would be super important. So I think we're going to end up doing, we'll do a hospital, and we'll put the hospital right on the end there. Yeah, because then it has really good access to that back section as well, so it'll kind of be dual coverage, even though we do have a hospital pretty close to this location. But then I want to put in a fire station, so we'll go like right here, and then I think we'll kind of separate the police station. So we'll put this guy over there. And you know what? It's just going to provide a little more coverage for this area. It's going to kind of help it out a little bit. We are not getting a ton of growth as of right now, just because of the whole death wave thing, but it'll end up bouncing back here in just a second. All right, so our death wave is starting to subside. It's kind of funny though, I ended up finding out an issue. We had some tram stops right here, and what was happening is trams were coming out of the tunnel having to turn left, which was then blocking all the traffic yet again. We had kind of a little backup back here, and it was causing a ton of issues. Along with our industrial ways, I ended up upgrading all of these roads to 4-lane 2-unit roads, just so that we could provide the right turn and the straight on, so that the trucks can have better access. But I think by removing these 2 stops right there, it's already fixed so many issues. I ended up putting a timed light right here as well, but it has really helped out a lot with our traffic. We are back up at 81% again, and we should start seeing, we're getting an increase in residential demand already, and so you guys can kind of see this is already starting to build out. I'm going to go ahead and let the game run for a little bit though, so that we can detail with the buildings, because otherwise I'm just going to have to keep looking at the squares. So while we're waiting for this to all grow, our residential demand is still pretty high, so we should see this expand pretty quickly. I want to work on our little school area. And so I think we're going to end up doing one complex with the elementary and the high school, but I think we're going to put them across the street from each other. So I think if we go, we'll go like right here, bring it up. You know, we'll shift it over a little bit because I want to do a small little parking lot too. So I did end up getting the little square guys, but I think for these schools, we're still going to use the big parking lot roads. And so I think for the elementary, we will do on this side, and so we're just going to do something very similar to what we did before, super easy, and something that is often replicated with elementary schools, and so I think it's going to be a little more realistic for us. I do want to go back just one though. I don't want it to be, like right there. Yeah, that's good. And so we will upgrade this to the border road, go like this, go up one, come all the way down, go down one, and then connect it up, and then just use our little spaces to fill this guy in. I really like this design. Just a lot of elementary schools are, at least where I'm from, this is what they look like, and so it does look like we need to just widen this a little bit, not by much, but a little bit. And then I'm just going to move these guys over so that we can get a little more space. And you know what? I think that looks pretty good. I think we may, let's see if we can squeeze in one of these guys. I think we'll just do one right there in the middle. I think that would be good. Yeah, that's good. Pretty good access, and it helps to clear up that little clipping issue. And so we are going to do our little elementary guy. This is going to be, a great view for the elementary school. We're going to do a little fence around it too, but they're going to be right above the freeway. It's going to be really cool. All right, and so now what we'll do is we will jump into our small playground. We'll go ahead and place this guy right there, and I don't want it to be off of that cliff, so I think we're going to come in here, go like this and then move that over. Because I really wouldn't want the playground to be like that close. So I think we will even move this over a little more. Yeah, there you go. I think that looks good. And then because of the limited space, I don't think we're going to do a field in this one. So we will just come in here, go like this. Probably come down here because then there's still a little bit of a field. It's not huge, but it would still be better than nothing. Gonna take this across. Just connect it up right there. We'll probably go like right there. You know what, there's parking right there, so I don't think blocking this side would be good, but I think doing this would be fantastic because then we could even connect that up and look at that. So now it's a nice enclosed area, and we'll even do just a couple, small little trees so that the kids would have something to like sit under while they're doing, field activity or something. But then we'll probably do the community pool or something over here because I really like using the sports hall and gymnasium and then the community pool. It does look like it's just a little too big. Maybe if we shift this road over by 1. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm just going to shift this back. Made it a little too far. Not by much, but just enough to be a bother. That looks good. I do want to go in here though and redraw on this road, as a lot of times the nodes can get messed up whenever you use move it like that. But I think that looks good. So now we have set up the community pool. This would be something that the school would use as well as people in the area. And then maybe we could even do the little yoga garden. That could be something that you could teach little kids too. Like, hey, we're going to go to the yoga garden. Even though kids, I don't know if they'd really enjoy that, but be a nice little amenity. But I think that looks good. I like that we did the fence around, and then for the high school, well, I'm going to do a little parking lot around, the same kind as before, but just a little bit bigger. Yeah, there we go. Simple little parking lot, and then we will come up here. I think because of our limited space, I was kind of hoping it'd fit right there, but it does look like, let's go ahead and see. Maybe we can just move our parking lot just a little bit. Yeah, you know what? That's not bad. I got it to work. It is a little close on this side, but there's still enough room to provide that access to that door. And then I think we will move this guy over. And then I don't think we need a playground for this, but I do want to do a park. And I think these other parks are going to be a little too big. So maybe we'll do one of these guys, because I think we could fit in one of these sideways. Maybe we'll do the basketball one. I think that would be good. Yeah, and we can move this guy back, flip him around. There you go. And so now the high school has a little outdoor basketball court, which would be really nice. And then we could do let's see if we can fit in the sports hall and gymnasium on this backside. So I think that would just be fantastic. You know what? I think that looks good. It is out there a little bit, but I think we will do a path in here to connect it up, because this would really be used by the high school a lot. And so this would be like their, auditorium and stuff, which is super important. And so then we'll come in here and we'll do probably those same trees so that we can follow the same pattern. And you know what? I think that's good. I could do a fence around, but with high school, it's not as needed. Yeah, there we go. Super easy little schooling area, and voila, look at that. While we were at it, this is already expanded quite a bit. It does look like we need to do some little power boxes though. So I think we'll do one right there. Let's see if that connected it up. It did. Looks like everything got connected except for that guy, which is so funny. These are the same spacing apart, but it didn't jump like it did on the other guys. But I think this looks pretty good. This is definitely coming together. And so now what I want to do is kind of get a little crazy with it. I'm going to jump into some hedges. And I got these really cool hedges, the traceable objects hedge, that allow you to do curves with them and then also adjust their height. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys one and then I'll do the rest of them. So we're going to go like this, we're going to go like that, then we're going to come all the way down here, go like that, and then we're going to go like, maybe we'll even come all the way down, so we'll go like that. And what it's going to do is just create a nice little enclosed area for us to do some landscaping and stuff. And this is something that you see a lot in really like nice areas. You just see like heavy landscaping and it just looks really good. And so then what I'm thinking, we are going to jump in here and go to these nice little pink trees that Mr. Mason did. I think they're just so great. We're going to go like that. We're going to go like this. And you know what? I think we could even do a little more, but I think that looks good. And then we are going to get rid of these little rocks. ruined my hedge. And then for these guys, for this center section, for these corners actually, I want to come in here and we're probably going to do a couple of these really big palm trees. And then we're going to do a rock in the middle. We'll go like that. And it got rid of our palm trees, of course. So we have to come back here. Go like that. And then I want to do some light foliage. So go like that, and then we'll switch over to a different foliage. Hey, you know what? I think that already looks so good. But then I think we will do some of these kind of bigger bushes. We'll do some of these tall grass clusters. Yeah, look at this. Just helps to kind of give it some contrast. And then let's jump back into our other palm trees. I think we're going to do, yeah, the coconut palm. Maybe we'll stick to these tall ones right here. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks good. I'm just going to place them at like a scattered distance. But I think that right there looks great. And I'm just going to copy that around. And then I think we're only going to do the rocks on the outside edges. And then we're going to be putting these flowers in all the walkways. All right, so I have finished. It was a ton of work, but I think it looks really good. I did the foliage going all the way down. And then I did these California palms kind of scattered around. And then I did the tall grass kind of put in there too, but then I did these flowers, and I think it all looks really good. And it's kind of funny and terrible at the same time. While we were waiting, everything literally caught on fire, and or not waiting, while I was doing it. And so all of our park area caught on fire. I did some really big trees here and everything. I did these guys right here. I didn't luckily put any trees on here because you can see all of our bushes burned down. So I wanted to just put down some regular trees in these guys. So I think we're going to do these little horse chestnuts. And it's kind of funny, even though you place them in a fire area, it shows them as already being burnt. So we are just going to place these guys down real quick. And there we go. We have magically placed down burnt trees. But man, you can even see this guy's like kind of black too. Jeez, I didn't even realize he's got soot all over him. That's crazy. This whole fire just ravaged everything. Luckily, our helicopters were able to put it out, but you can kind of see it definitely went through a whole lot. It burned like half this neighborhood, and some of the buildings burned too, and they, like this guy was on fire, but I think the actual fire trucks put out fire a little bit better than, you can even see these little flowers are burnt too, but it does look like we're having trash issues back here. Let's go ahead and look at our trash coverage. So we have one guy right there, but I don't know if that's big enough to cover all of this. Maybe we can place one of these guys in somewhere. I wonder if we can place this guy like right there. Let's look and see how that looks. You know what? It's not great. I think maybe we'll place it over there. So I don't want to mess up that hillside too much. Yeah, I think right there would probably be good. But then we do need to place one more up here. I hadn't even checked this coverage, but yeah, that's just really bad. And so we would want one over here somewhere. Maybe we'll put it right here. So let's go ahead and extend this road out just a little bit. And then we can have this guy cut this way with a smaller road. Yeah, there you go. And then after we buy this square, we will change this, because this is not going to be ideal for this spot, but it works for our purposes right now. It is a little bumpy. I think I'm going to lower this down. And voila, a little bit of move it magic. And it looks okay. It definitely solves our issue. I didn't want to just randomly place it in there. All right, so let me know what you guys think of the new neighborhood. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that like button. On the next episode, we are going to be building out this top tier level. And then we're going to be looking at some new areas for expansion. I think we will be working on that industrial area. I have a couple really cool ideas for our last big building for the university, and then I want to do a smaller airport over here. But then it also looks like we do need to go through and do some traffic management. I think we're having some major issues with our trams. Because the trams are actually in that right lane, they are really causing some backups. Like you can see these cars for some reason are changing lanes, getting stopped behind this tram. And so basically all these cars are just waiting to change lanes and then change back. I do play with the advanced vehicle AI and traffic manager, but for some reason I think it's these roads. And so we're actually going to change to a dedicated tram lane. Instead of having them on the turn lanes, we'll have them in the middle. And I've used them in the past. It just really helps to have the dedicated lane because otherwise they just stop so much traffic, and we are really having some crazy backups. And once you start having backups, it really just causes a lot of issues with your city with death care. I mean, healthcare, all the services pretty much trash. And then you start getting abandonment, and it really just infects your whole city. So those are some things that you can look forward to. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next episode.